What's going on, friends? I'm Sean Pierce Johnson. Welcome to my YouTube channel and to the first of what I hope to be many little lessons here on the channel. Today's subject, palm muting. You wouldn't think that it would warrant to have a lesson based around a concept that most guitar players just inherently start developing, but this was actually brought on by a question that a friend asked of me several months back. He's a bit of a closet metalhead, and he was asking me how to get those big, chugging power chords, the kind that are in breakdowns of metal and other hard rock records. He just didn't know if that was something that he could do or if he would have to acquire certain pieces of equipment in order to capture that sound of. Once I read the text message that contained his question, I got to work, tuned the guitar down to drop D, and started playing some of the songs that I had written in that tuning. I really wanted to be able to know how I could articulate an answer to his question. And I was very surprised to discover some of what I had been doing all along that for me was second nature, maybe not every guitar player in the world is aware of. So in this video, allow me to show you some of the discoveries that I made about how to effectively incorporate palm muting into your playing. The riff that really got the creative juices flowing on this for me is from the verse of a song I wrote called Nothing. If you've watched any of my other demos over the years, I have played this so many times, and it really does bring together all the things that I discovered that I was doing palm muting wise that I feel really kind of help us figure out there are more things to palm muting than just fleshy bits from our strumming hand across the bridge of the guitar. So now let's break down what I'm doing there. At the most basic level, I'm doing exactly what palm muting, the name, suggests that you do with the technique. Taking the fleshy part of your strumming hand, laying it across the bridge of your guitar. I have a tune-o-matic bridge on this Les Paul, but it works on anything with a whammy bar, a hardtail, whatever. And just laying it across the strings and strumming. Now you can hear that low D power chord, it rings out, but what I played for you, it didn't have the chords ringing out like that. That's because I'm using my fretting hand as a secondary mute in order to essentially give what I'm playing some rhythmic definition. Now you can hear, I'm not using a noise gate. And the gain is turned up relatively high on my amplifier. So none of that is coming from a noise gate choking down on my guitar signal and muting the sound. It's all done here with my fretting hand. Then we move on to those accent notes, as I call them. What's happening there is actually a combination of, once again, the strumming and fretting hand muting, except instead of utilizing my whole hand to mute a string, I'm just using extra fleshy bits of my fingers in order to mute strings around what I'm playing. The top part of my index finger, when I fret that C and the B, is actually touching the low E string, which of course is tuned down to D. Now obviously that's sounding out a harmonic, so without my palm muting at the bridge, you're going to be hearing that weird harmonic, and it's going to sound something like this. It's not exactly what you want to hear. It's quite dissonant. So combining it with my strumming hand muting, it ends up doing the work that I need it to do. Now, if we took away all of that muting that we were doing with our strumming hand and our fretting hand, that whole riff would sound something like this. That's not entirely bad sounding, but it's not what we're going for. So now let's add in each level of muting into that riff so that we can see how it evolves from no muting to a little bit to everything. It is pretty incredible how so simple a technique can end up being so complex. But I hope this video helped you out and you can incorporate this technique into your own playing. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's little lesson video. I hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions about this or any other guitar playing technique, let me know what it is in the comments section down below. You never know, your question could be the subject of next week's little lesson. And if you enjoyed this and want to see more, click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. If you want to stay up to date on all the goings on here on the channel or my musical world, or even win some free gear, join my email list at seanpiercejohnson.com/email. And you can even support the channel monetarily with your everyday gear purchases by using the affiliate links I have in the description box down below. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I wish you all great tone, great health, and happy stomping. Cheers, friends. God bless.